Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Wolf-Rayet, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition game using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is Elias the Game Master, and joining me are four lovely individuals who will meet right away, because we have a quintessential court-martial episode to bring to you today. So we'll start with Caspian. Caspian, who you playing, and anything you want to shout out?
I am Caspian. I am playing Captain Lance Cannon, who I think he's in a little bit of trouble tonight. So I'm going to shout out our game master, who without him, we'd all just be sitting here talking to ourselves.
I'm actually not real. I'm just a figment of your imagination.
Not again.
Whiskey, what do you got going on?
Hello, I am Whiskey. I'm playing Captain Meridian, the snake girl who causes trouble. She knows too much and doesn't know when to think. And I guess to shout out, the new Genevieve fleet, Libertas, is debuting on Friday and Saturday, so that's exciting.
How many new sisters will you have?
4 or 5, I think.
Nice.
Nice.
Neat. And if you can maybe shoot me a link, maybe I'll remember to put it in the video description. Maybe.
Yes.
But up next is Kern. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm Kern. I'm playing Commander Cushion, and I think a whole lot of people are in trouble today.
And last but not least, Food Cube.
Food Cube, I play Lieutenant Mintz. I'm definitely, absolutely not one of the people who are going to be in trouble. No, sir. No, absolutely not.
Well, you say that, but I'm already breaking out the
Shut
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's run that intro video before we get into trouble.
He's got a point.
Yes, we agree with Evil Steve. The reason point redeems are off is because lawyers are evil enough, so we don't want to add more
Yes.
things. Honestly, I don't know how much rolling we'll be doing today, but we'll find out together. So, to set the scene, the Wolf-Rayet has returned to the Alpha Quadrant, and you have gone through Pandora's Gate to get there. You did not proto-warp between galaxies like you initially tried to during one of your missions. But you've arrived at the Antari shipyards, somewhat near DS9, just kind of a stone's throw away kind of a thing. But immediately upon landing, all of you were taken into custody by Starfleet intelligence, and you all have been put in front of a JAG court-martial. Now, I should clarify here that since you were taken in, none of your crew has been able to talk to one another, so you've not been able to coordinate anything ahead of time other than what you might have before you arrived at the Alpha Quadrant. But your first time seeing one another is when you are led into a hearing room, and there's the chime of the bell, the ding, 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 and in comes a older Vulcan gentleman. He has on white robes of JAG colors, so it's kind of white with gray and a little bit of red. He has on Admiralty pips, and he very calmly and serenity-like goes to his seat and sits down, then chimes the bell 4 more times, and says, I have to do the voice. My name is Admiral Verlew, and I will be overseeing this hearing to determine how much of a court-martial is needed for the Wolf-Rayet crew. You four are the representatives of your respective departments. Therefore, you will be the one answering my questions. Let's start with some of the more egregious matters. And he holds up a pad and he says, "First off, I wish to make it abundantly clear that you have a phase cloaking device. Is that correct?"
Yes, Admiral, that's
Yes.
correct.
And how did you come about such a technology? Because last I checked, the Federation was banned from such technology.
We built it from scratch in a critical situation.
You insinuate that you created a phase cloak from scratch and then justified it for a mission? Am I hearing that correctly?
It was mission critical. Yes.
And Valu looks at Mitz and says, "Am I to understand that you were also instrumental in this, Lieutenant Mitch?"
Engineering is not my specialty, Your Honor. So I did not have a hand in this.
ELH is remembering the episode in his head. I think you did make an assist
was-
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
believe
was
you
literally
did. Yeah.
me and
He doesn't know that.
Mitz.
He
It was-
doesn't know that.
Yes,
He doesn't
you
know
just-
that.
You're perjuring yourself.
You know what? Let
The
me make this a roll because I think it's funny. Mitz,
Mhm.
give me a presence and con at a difficulty of 2.
Hold on, I need to look for my sheet.
I think your con's pretty dang good. It's the presence, not so much.
Do I have a focus?
Focus.
Well, what focus?
Espionage? Does it?
Sure. You know what? Espionage can totally apply here. Totally.
It's freaking legendary.
Ow.
What was it again?
Presence and con.
and okay.
And
Okay.
remember, you have bolt con, if I remember correctly, so you
And
could
I
give
will
me a
use
treat
that,
to
yes.
re-roll.
I'll give you a treat to reroll. I'll give you a treat.
All right, you'll be at 3
Okay.
dice then.
I'll be at 3 dice. Hold on, I can't find. Hold on, give me a second.
You're
Give me a
good.
second. Okay.
I believe. I mean, surely you're not going to do what Mercury did last night and roll double 20s. Surely.
Oh.
It's not loading. Hold on.
Let me see. Might be something on my end.
Did it?
Well, I'm in. No
Is it
problem.
my end? Hold on. Could I
Turn it
roll
off and on
again?
Yeah, try
'Cause, like,
rolling
it's
again,
not- it's
and if
not
it comes
showing
through
up.
twice,
I'll randomly roll something and see if I can roll things.
yeah, because somebody else roll and see if it's a. Okay, I see meridians.
Oh, that's pretty
Okay.
looking. Double 9s. What are the odds of double 9s?
There we go. Well, Mitz, you can re-roll one of those die, and I would encourage you to use the re-roll button there in chat because it has a very cool
Oh,
interface.
I never noticed. I never noticed.
They
That's
actually
what
added
that's
it when they
new.
updated the system recently.
Like, which dice do I want to re-roll? Okay.
And you'll see in a second that it made it really cool. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that is
Ooh,
cool.
I love that.
So the good news is that you do succeed in your bluff and you get 1 momentum. So the Valu just sort of raises a Vulcan eyebrow and says, "Interesting. So you mean to claim that you only provided the schematics, but you didn't know how to build it yourself. Is that correct?"
That would be correct.
Very well. I presume that's going to be an issue with the Romulan government, but I'm not in charge of that, so they can bring charges of their own at another time. On a related note, I see that your holodeck is upside down. Why is that?
That is related to the phase cloak, Your Honor.
Well, walk me through it. How did a holodeck end up upside down perfectly within your ship?
Okay, yeah. So, we were taking necessary precautions against cyber intrusions when we needed to run some code, and the only thing we could run the code on was the holodeck. So we isolated the holodeck with a Faraday cage to prevent a hostile takeover, as we've seen with the Enterprise previously. See Moriarty. And then we didn't realize that the cloak was going to be a phase cloak. And when we phase cloaked, the ship disconnected, not the holodeck. So the holodeck was floating in space. And when we went to redock to the holodeck, we did it upside down by accident. And we kind of just left it there. But we did install a staircase that was OSHA compliant.
Well, I'm sure the Corps of Engineers will be very upset with you for that, and I suppose if you decide to have it fixed, they'll have a field day figuring out how to do it, but interesting. And he kind of scrolls through his pad. Next,
I have an idea.
Yeah, what's up?
No, I have an idea how to do that.
You do? How do you propose to do that?
Base cloak again, and let that section re-put the Faraday cage on, and let that section go out, and then...
Yeah, but we'll have to do it in the Andromeda Galaxy to maintain compliance with the Accords.
Right.
I can see that this is going to be a very long hearing.
I hear Vulcans don't need a lot of rest, so thankfully.
I guess next question is, am I correct in seeing here in your logs that you were visited by somebody from the Temporal Integrity Commission? Is that correct?
Sir, we can't answer that because it's been deemed classified under the Temporal Accords.
You can talk about the visit in vagaries. I don't need to know why they visited. I just need to know a why in a different way.
The only thing we're allowed to say is, yes, we did interact with the Temporal Agency, and they corrected some things that we are not at liberty to discuss for fear of temporal incursion.
I see. So it has nothing to do with the fact that you encountered a black hole entity prior to this incursion from the Temporal Integrity Commission.
We're unable to...
No, the black hole entity, we can discuss the black hole entity.
Yes, but we can't discuss any possible or any existing or non-existing relations between that and the event. We can discuss the black hole entity.
Please do, because I'm struggling to see the logic in why the Temporal Integrity Commission would show up.
Again, sir, we cannot discuss that per the rules of the Temporal Accords.
Right, but still walk me through your previous mission. I want to hear about this previous mission.
Well, we encountered another Protostar-esque vessel. Upon catching up with said vessel, we found out that it was powered by a black hole entity that was trapped within it. We were able to excise the entity and stabilize their core to help them return to their own people.
Makes a few notes on his pad. Well, I suppose I'll look into that further with my Admiralty clearance and see if I can learn anything on my end. Very well, let's move on to the next matter, the Mauve. Your records and logs indicate that not only have you encountered the Mauve twice, but there has been some, shall we say, and I use this word very, very hesitantly, shenanigans when it comes to the logging of the events?
We did encounter some difficulties with our recording software during both encounters. We think it's a reaction to their vessels. For some reason, whenever we encounter them, we can't seem to keep accurate logs.
I see, and it has nothing to do with this. And he waves his pad at one of the walls, and a hollow image appears in front of the wall. And you all remember where you all were painting that ship pink and broadcasting it galaxy-wide? You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we remember. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Back channels, yeah.
All right, well, the recording is played over and over again about 3 times before the Admiral turns off the message and say, "So you have no knowledge and no record of the fact that you caused not only a galactic destabilization, but also what could be a violation of the Prime Directive."
I don't see anything about that in the logs, so no, I'm not aware of it. I was in engineering at the time, trying to repair the log issue.
Right, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that your warp core and protocore are also now pink.
It was a fun science experiment, actually. And to be clear, you'll note in some of the other logs that the protocore actually wants to be pink.
We'll get to that in a moment, but first we need to answer for that. And he points at the wall, and the recording plays once more for effect. Who gave the order to paint that ship pink? And who gave the order to broadcast it galaxy-wide?
As captain of the vessel, that order came from me, sir.
Both orders.
Yes, sir.
It had nothing to do with the engineering department, the security department, the con officer, just you.
As captain of the vessel, all departments report to me, so all responsibility would fall on my shoulders, sir.
I see. And at this, Valu looks at Keshin. Commander Keshin, you actually seem to have a very spotless record, which I can admire. There's a certain logic in fastidiousness.
Thank you, sir.
However, what was your thought process when you were given the order to open fire on the vessel? Why did you not refuse the order? Why were you willing to go along with this order?
Which vessel were we talking about, sir?
The Mauve vessel, the one you broadcasted galaxy-wide.
Right. It was the heat of the moment, sir. I was given an order and I followed it.
Just following orders. He notes something on his pad. Very well. What about your second encounter with the Mauve? What can you tell me of that?
Whatever's in the log, sir.
I want to hear it from your mind and your lips, or rather, your gas mask.
The body shaming now? Ooh. To tell you the truth, the incident doesn't ring a bell.
I think I read something about doing a great service right when I successfully finished repairing the logging issue. That's about all I got.
It seems to me that the Wolf-Rayet has a big problem with keeping proper logs. And coincidentally, it seems that every single time that happens, you cause an incident.
Heck, we've caused incidents while keeping proper logs too, sir.
That's a good point. And he pulls up his pad again. It seems here that you have encountered another temporal incident where you went back in time. Well, it's unclear. Your logs don't say a specific amount, but it does say you went back in time to a Ryza-like pleasure world?
Yes, through no fault of our own, an interaction with our temporal shields and an alien device did cause us to go back in time.
I see. And for some reason, the Temporal Integrity Commission did not deem to show up then, but they showed up for something else later. Highly illogical. Well, walk me through this time event. What do you recall? What did you do on the planet? What was it that you accomplished during your foray into the past?
Well, to my knowledge of that incident, during the routine exploration of the Andromeda Galaxy, we encountered a Dyson's swarm with a distress call coming from it. We approached the Dyson swarm, were struck by a beam, and were sent back in time through an interaction with our temporal shields. We arrived at a point in the past. We do not have the exact start date for that, but we had a distress call from a planet that was encountering problems with their star, and when we were attempting to render aid per Starfleet designations, we inadvertently send ourselves forward in time while fixing their issue with their star, causing the Dyson swarm to no longer be there, but to be a Ryza-like pleasure planet. And they've actually become good allies with us in the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yes, I do admit that fact that I have a report to that effect, but do you or do you not agree that that entire mission was a violation of the Prime Directive?
I don't believe so, sir. I believe it would be a part of our duty as Starfleet officers to render aid whenever possible. We approached the system to render aid. We approached the planet once we were sent back in time to render aid, and we did not purposely send ourselves forward in time. That simply happened by accident. The fact that they chose to celebrate us on that planet and became friends of the Federation after that is purely a happy coincidence.
And he just says, and looks at his pad again. Let's see, what else? Well, let's talk about that, as far as these logs say, an anthropomorphic protodrive. Tell me a little bit about that, Meridian.
Yes, so we encountered a very strange temporal phenomenon which caused our protodrive to gain emotions, and then also my personal project of a away shuttle to also gain sentience and also the ability to transform. And also the protodrive was sad, so we needed to perform therapy.
And at this, he does a very Vulcan eyebrow raise, and it goes the highest you've ever seen a Vulcan do an eyebrow raise. I just want to be very clear on this. You gave a protodrive therapy.
Yes, there was nothing really in my engineering repertoire to assess or resolve therapy problems, but I do recall distinctly somebody placing a sticker on the side, and that definitely did assist quite positively with the.
It was a gold
state.
Sticker, sir. A star.
I believe it was a gold star, yes, and the protodrive was very pleased to receive a gold star.
So, let me get this straight. You encountered a new form of life, you immediately sent it to therapy, and as part of therapy, you gave it a gold star. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he sighs and rubs his forehead a little bit, breaking with the stoic Vulcan persona he's had so far. Right, just add that to the list. Very well. Up next, do I have it right that you encountered a Q-like being known as K? Do I have that correct?
I don't recall the specific letter, but yes.
I see. And you went through a trial of this being's, some kind of a test of acumen?
That's correct.
And in doing so, you managed to construct an actual working prototype of a protostar class, and that protostar class is now currently in miniature form.
That is correct. I believe I constructed it at approximately shuttlecraft scale, and then I joked about it would be great sitting on my desk, and Kay rewarded me by shrinking it to approximately 1 foot in size, and I now keep it in engineering.
And yet, it is a fully functioning protostar class. It has a protodrive.
Yes, but it doesn't have a star in it currently. It's inactive.
Well, we'll take small blessings where we can get them, because you've already done so much with one. And, he again sighs and rubs his temple. Well, let me be very clear with you all that right now I have to make a very difficult decision, where I fully admit that some of what you have done in the Andromeda Galaxy is within keeping of Starfleet regulation. However, there's also a large pile of items in which you are very much acting against the regulations and general orders that you have sworn to uphold. My only question, and I'm going to ask each of you in turn, is what would you do in my situation? What would you do if your lower officer were to do something like this? I'm just curious to hear from each of you, and if you wish to instead plead for mercy, that would only be logical, but I will not be swayed by crocodile tears. We'll start with you, Lieutenant Mitz. What are your thoughts on this?
For that, Your Honor, might I just say that you look rather handsome under this light?
He raises a Vulcan eyebrow.
Without a doubt. Even I'm raising my eyebrows and you can't see those.
The captain's just got his head in his hands.
My lighting aside, is there anything else you would like to say?
I would say I would have possibly. And she's kind of looking at the captain, and she's like looking back at the judge and going, well, this is a conundrum.
That it is, isn't it? And then he senses that Mitz is in decision paralysis, so he moves on to Keshin. Commander Keshin, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Yes, sir. I think that for a single ship in an unknown galaxy, we've done everything possible to stay to the letter of the law as much as possible. But there have been occasions where we've had to blur the lines, sir.
Very reasonable and logical outline. Captain Meridian, what about you?
Well, I would, of course, take responsibility for the actions of my lower officers. It is my duty as Chief of Engineering to be held responsible for those below me. I will say, though, that while my modifications to the ship have not exactly been standard, I attest that we've been doing the best we can, acting as a lone ship in an entirely different galaxy, and I've done my best to make this the most advanced ship in all of Starfleet, and I think I've done a good job at that.
And then he looks to Captain Cannon. Captain Cannon, I thought you might want to know that an acquaintance of yours, family, my understanding, asked for me specifically to do this hearing, so I'd like to hear your thoughts and whether or not I am meeting some sort of, I don't know, obligation of your family. I was not given many details.
Well, Admiral, to answer your first question, if I was in your position, I would look at the meaning of the regulations versus the letter of the regulations. As Meridian's already said, we were a lone ship in the Andromeda Galaxy doing the best we could with the resources given to us. Sometimes we did have to creatively interpret Starfleet regulations to achieve the desired outcomes. We have put ourselves in danger numerous times, but we've always tried to live up to Starfleet ideals in the end. As for my family obligations, let's just say it's good to have friends in high places, but you don't have to worry about that. I have always kept them in line.
I see. He pauses for a moment and says, very well, we will be in recess for 1 hour's time. You are free to leave the room. However, you are to be back in this room within 1 hour. Otherwise, I will send the bailiff to bring you in. This hearing is adjourned for the moment. And he taps the bell 4 times, stands, leaves the room.
So,
Well, that didn't go great.
I thought it went splendidly.
Same here.
It could have gotten significantly worse, you know. So, should we get the holodeck fixed?
Oh, we
Assuming
can.
they're going to give us our ship back.
Yeah, and it's in the Andromeda. We have to do that in the Andromeda Galaxy because we're not allowed to use cloaking devices in the Alpha Quadrant or in this galaxy.
Which I'm really surprised they brought up the cloaking device at all, considering after the destruction of the Romulan homeworld, the Treaty Algernon is no longer in effect. We can use cloaking devices.
It's not like we didn't pass other ships of Starfleets in there with cloaking devices. It's rather rich.
Yeah, we've never used it outside the Andromeda Galaxy, which is outside the scope of any treaty.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I think
I'm
we're
more
just
concerned with the
covering-
fact he knew about some of the temporal things that happened.
Yeah, well,
Well, I certainly never mentioned anything in my logs.
Me neither.
All of our logs should have been temporally sealed. How did he know?
Mm. Maybe he's got friends in high places too.
yeah, I definitely don't particularly want them knowing the specifics of that one.
Hmm.
I am both parts impressed and terrified at my abilities.
Yeah, while we're sitting here, I'm gonna look something up. I want to see what I can find on this admiral.
Okay.
Hmm.
He
Why don't
does
you-
seem rather fascinating, doesn't he?
He does.
Down bits down.
I want to check on the status of the ship and make sure they're not doing anything to
I'm
my
down.
baby.
I'm down.
Down for how would I say, googling through espionage.
Mhm. Well, whoever wants to make the roll to look up the admiral, this is a control and command at a
like to
difficulty of
assist.
2.
I'd
I
like to
also
assist as the
assist
head of
as
security.
well.
Yeah, you can assist.
I think I've probably got the highest control command out of all of us.
All right. Well,
I'm
just
gonna assist
remember.
by scrolling through the photos.
Yeah, if you are assisting, just remember it's 1 die on an assist.
Yeah, 1 momentum as well too, I think.
Yeah, if you have
Second
multiple
assist.
assists, that's when you have to start paying for it.
May as
And
well
what's
spend another
and what's my role going to be though?
You would still be control and command.
Control command. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna want to use our 1 momentum here because I do have cautious command in
Okay.
case I need to reroll.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Would the focuses of composure, persuasion, or linguistics work here?
I'll give it to you, sure.
Uh,
Which one? Because my dedicated focus might come into play.
What is your dedicated focus in?
Persuasion.
Would not be a dedicated focus.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens here.
Well, that's already 4 successes. So I guess if you want more, just roll that assist. Okay,
Nope.
so just 4, so you still get 2 momentum off that.
Yep.
And what you find about Admiral Valou is that Admiral Valou is kind of a Vulcan wild card. If the meeting with him wasn't already an indication, he is getting on in age, and he's reached that level of Vulcan wisdom where he realizes he doesn't give a fuck anymore. And sure, he still likes logic, and he still likes, keeping, JAG officers in line and the whole shebang. But there's definitely records and cases where you see that he went against what the quote-unquote common thinking was. That he went against what would have been the Vulcan logic position to make an astounding ruling, which has become precedent for other cases. So he's kind of a wild card, and the fact that he's a Vulcan wild card, you can interpret that how you wish.
He sounds fun.
Also, he is never married. Just if that matters to anyone, never got married.
That matters to me, definitely.
He just admits to aggressively flirt with this guy.
I'm willing to do it.
Yes.
I'm willing to do it.
You can do
If it's under your
let's-
orders, Captain.
I agree. We should do that, and I want to see if I can find a window reasonably close to our ship so I can prompt our external holo emitters to make sure they're not damaging my baby.
Well, like the Admiral said, as long as you're back in this room within an hour's time, you are free to move about the shipyard.
Yeah, best part about my holo engineering console, I could technically prompt it through any holo emitter, and the exterior of this ship has holo emitters.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to get in range and prompt my engineering console and just make sure they're not.
Sure. Well, like I said, you just
Breaking
kind of
apart
have to
my
step
child.
out of the room. The bailiff is out there, and he just says, remember, you have to be back in there in an hour.
59 minutes and 16 seconds.
An hour is all I need.
Oh, Lord. Well, the good news, Meridian, is you are quickly able to find a window. Again, it is a shipyard, not a starbase. So you very quickly can find a observation lounge or an engineering room where there is a window out to the Wolf-Rayet. And the
Little line
Wolf-Rayet
of
looks
sight, full
fine.
protection.
The Wolf-Rayet still glowing, pink nacelles, whole shebang. There are umbilicals that have been attached to it, kind of gantryways, standard resupply stuff. But it doesn't look like anybody's removed anything. Doesn't look like anybody's added anything. As far as you're able to tell, just looking at it, it looks like they're just giving you a general resupply at the moment.
Cool. I'm gonna try and see if I can prompt my Hello Engineering console and see if they're charging it or what, if they're doing anything at all.
Now, when you say they're charging it, what do you mean by that?
I mean, we ran out of quote energy. We had to come back for it to be like recharged or something last time.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
I'm seeing if they're recharging it so we could continue using it. I'm trying to. If they're not charging the ship, that's one thing. If they're charging the ship, they're probably going to give it back to us. We've made so many darn modifications that it can't really go to anybody else without them ripping half of the ship apart. So if they're charging it, they're not putting it in dry dock. And maybe we'll get out of this.
For this, roll me an Insight Engineering at a difficulty of 3.
Alrighty. I'm checking on if it's being charged or not. Will you hear power systems?
I mean, I think that applies, most definitely.
Alright, you know what? I'll give you a treat because it's funny.
I'll take a treat.
Oop, 4 successes.
4 successes, meaning you get a momentum for your trouble, bringing you up to 3. So, I'm trying to look it up on my phone, but my phone isn't cooperating. What's the element that you need in a proto-drive to make the protostar again? It begins with a B, I think.
I should know this. That's like one of the few things I don't have memorized is how to rebuild a protostar.
Well, let's quickly look it up because it is important.
Yes.
Let's see. Proto-drive. Protocore. Here we go. Here it is. Bosonite. That's how you say it.
Bosonite, yes.
So you are able to tell, based on your holo interface, that they are indeed bringing in new stores of bosonite to your cargo bays. And they're also refilling your deuterium, and they're also refilling your stores of duranium and tritanium.
Nice. I head back so I don't even get remotely close to not being there at the hour mark.
All right, that's what Meridian's doing. We'll go to Keshin. Keshin, what are you doing for the hour? Oh, Kern, you might be inline muted.
I'll be the eyes and ears, and I'll stay close to the courtroom. So when it comes close to the time, like 5 minutes before, I'll alert everybody to get back to the courtroom.
Okay. So you're gonna hang out with the bailiff, is that correct?
I am. Sure, I'm gonna talk to him. And find out what's the mood.
You know what?
What his orders are.
Let me actually generate a proper bailiff because I just said he, him, but you never know. Let me hit the random generator and see what we get.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna like what I've rolled, I think. So
okay, cool.
It's actually a Tellarite, and she is a she. Her name is Commander Pros Vagond, is how I'm going to say it.
Okay.
And she's a Tellarite, so I think she just kind of looks at you with that sort of pig-snouted face and just sort of goes, "The hell are you looking at?"
So knowing what Tellarites they like to argue there, so I'll say, well, nothing much.
Takes one to know one. I bet I could rip that mask off and you'd be bleeding dead on the floor.
Well, would you like to try that later, after this is all done?
ELH is short-circuiting. Please hold. You know what? You did this. Make a roll. You know what? It's your fault. You're going to make a roll here.
Roll for seduction? Seduce the dragon?
Presence and security.
Presence, all right.
And it will be opposed.
Oh, okay. Security. Cannon. contest.
And basically, you're setting the difficulty that I would have to beat.
Feel free to use momentum.
Can I use mental discipline as a focus?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Oh.
1 success and 1 complication.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that complication and immediately use it to give her 3 dice.
Ooh.
So she has that. Her discipline is
3
that.
3 20s.
2 successes. So she kind of laughs in a Tellarite way, kind of, again, because they have that pig nose, it kind of sounds more like a snort. And she says, honey, I wouldn't consider you if you were the last moving thing on the entire starbase.
Oh, I'm gonna feign being wounded by the fatal blow.
Besides, there's no way you could handle all of this. And she just motions at herself.
Dude.
Well, if I can handle the, I don't know, what are they called? Where's that? Oh, that's the sheet changed. What are they called there? I'll bring up my sheets. What are they called?
I might be able to help if you tell me the alien kind you're looking for.
I'm looking for the horsey thing there that's my hobby.
Oh,
what is it
right.
called?
Should be under your pastime.
Yeah, I said I can't find it on the new sheet there, so it's a Jaha.
Sure, sounds right to me. Though let me see if I can
Oh,
find it on
oh
your
yes,
sheet.
that's it.
It's just labeled as horseback riding.
So if I can ride a Berbat Jaha, I would have no problem riding you.
That's bold of you to say, considering that you would be the one doing the riding. No wonder you are not with a mate. No wonder.
Oh, now we're getting personal.
Wow.
And as that's happening, Captain Cannon, what are you doing?
Well, Captain Cannon's still hung up on this how he knew our temporal stuff, so I'm going to reach out to my handler at Temporal Investigations and see if I can talk to him real quick via subspace or temporal space or whatever they call it.
All right. Did you ever give me a name for them?
You actually made a name up for him.
Shit.
Yahangi. I'm going to have to put it in chat.
You're going to have to put it in chat because I'm furiously looking through my notes for it. Because you would think, ELH takes good notes.
Yanagi Utamara.
I remember them now, yes. So you do get Utamara on the horn, and they just sort of look at you and says, Captain Cannon, what an unexpected surprise. What can I do for you?
Well, I need to know if you've been talking to somebody at the Admiralty's office in reference to certain temporal incidents that have occurred in the Andromeda Galaxy.
I was asked to provide some information, yes.
Didn't you make us lock our logs in reference to those situations and just go talking to Starfleet Admiralty about it?
Let's just say that there were extenuating circumstances when it came to the logs that Admiral Valou was specifically asking for.
The captain's going to get really, upset and be like, there always seems to be some kind of way for you to get what you want, but you never seem to be able to get me what I need.
What is it you need, exactly?
Well, I've always been asked to be reintegrated into my timeline, and there always seems to be some kind of complication as to why that can't happen.
At this point, you have become instrumental in the flow of events, and if we were to integrate you back into your normal timeline, all those events would cease to happen.
So what did you end up telling them about what happened?
Only that you were visited by the Temporal Integrity Commission.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm just going to hang up the channel before you can respond.
All right. And now we turn to Mitz. Mitz,
I'm scared.
Why
Why am I last?
because it's funny.
would you
Save the
need to be
best for
scared?
last.
Mitz, what are you doing with your hour?
That's a funny question. That's a funny question. Um, so I wanted to check the computer to see where Admiral Valu is.
He is in one of the cantinas, apparently getting refreshment.
Would there be a way to get him alone?
He is currently alone in the cantina.
Okay. So, like, give me a second. Evil cackling. Evil food cube cackling. Okay. So I am gonna go visit the Admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Just for conversation. Just for conversation. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So you walk into the cantina, like I said, it's just him in there. And it's like a Defiant-sized cantina, so it's only got like, 5 or 6 benches in here, and it's got 2 replicators, and it's got, some engineering trappings of whatever starships have come through. Like maybe there's a poster of, a Defiant class called the San Paulo, and maybe there's a Reliant that's been through here recently, and oh look, an old Excelsior class that's been through here recently. And it's just there's a lot of history in this room, is what I'm trying to get at here. But for the moment, it is just you and Admiral Valu. And I think when he sees you come in, he looks at you and says, Lieutenant Mitch, was there something you wish to add to the record?
Oh no, I was merely here to get a drink.
Well, the replicator is over there, and it is freely accessible.
Thank you.
Now, what is it you
And then
order?
she goes and replica. Hmm.
Romulan ale.
Is there Romulan ale? She's gonna replica Romulan ale.
I believe it's still illegal.
Liquid courage.
So,
Sword and brandy.
here's the thing that's, yes, it's a running joke that Romulan ale is always banned, but what always struck me as weird is that there wasn't like a synthahol legal version of it, because there's synthahol of everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think what I'm going to say is that there is a Romulan ale synthahol-esque where, yeah, you can get kind of drunk on it, but you can shake it off very easily, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
And yes, it's blue.
They never get the color right.
No.
I look back at the Admiral. What is he doing? What is he doing?
He is currently sipping a Tarkalian tea and looking at a pad.
Okay. Showtime. Admiral, I hope you don't mind me intruding, but I was merely curious on... This is a station, right? This is a station.
It's a Stardock.
Stardock, yeah. I'm merely curious as to how you got this position.
Well,
Surely you have stories to tell.
Oh, I have many stories to tell. As far as how I ended up here, well, I was originally working out of DS9, and I thought that it was, of course, a grand station. DS9, it's a prestigious and prodigious, posting. But I wanted something a bit more closer to home. Something where I could see people come and go without being, next to the wormhole. Kind of makes me nervous, as it were.
I see. So you get nervous as well.
Well, of course, I think it is only logical that everybody gets nervous.
Curious. Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to think of another thing to say.
You got time?
Another approach.
Another approach. Okay. What should I say that isn't too forward but is hinting at it? Okay.
I mean, you could always just openly flirt with him. That is always an option.
Here's a question: what do
You know
Vulcans
what?
consider
Okay.
flirting?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. What do Vulcans consider flirting? Because
Mm.
all we have is Spock and God, what's her name?
Mm.
It's a T. It's
T'Pring.
T.
T'Pring.
T'Pring. Yeah, T'Pring.
We also-
So I guess you could
You
always
know,
pull
you're
out a
very
Lurpa.
articulate. You're very articulated with the amount of detail that you mention.
Well, I think it's only logical that, as an admiral, and especially in the JAG office, that I am very knowledgeable about the cases that I oversee.
Truly, that truly makes sense. Yes. I
And I
don't
think he
think I've
stares
met
at
an
you.
admiral
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
like you.
Sorry, say that again?
I don't think I've ever met an admiral as articulated as you.
And I think Veluz stares at you. He stares for a little bit longer, then it starts to become uncomfortable. And then he raises an eyebrow and says, Lieutenant Mitch, are you flirting with me?
Whatever gave that impression. I am merely complimenting your abilities and your current talents.
Well, the fact that you're sweating like a Tellarite tells me one thing. The other thing is that your deodorant has expired. So,
Ouch.
Mm,
He really is into body shaming, though, eh?
apparently.
yeah,
It's okay.
you
Mitz can
have
fix him.
a very you have a very interesting way of observing people, Admiral. I can commend that.
Well, when you get to be my age, you look for any advantage where you can get it. And yes, I do realize that sometimes it involves me being a bit more blunt or use a human idiom that doesn't quite land, like what I did with Commander Keshin and his mask. But, I like to think I'm very honest and upfront with people, which surprises people when they think of a Vulcan. They think of a Vulcan as this paragon of unshakableness and emotionlessness, and it's not something that I stand for.
Wouldn't that make you stand out? Did you ever have trouble with that?
Oh, quite a bit. As I've gotten on in age, it's only gotten worse. In fact, I think they just made me an admiral to shut me up and throw me out into deep space where, I couldn't do any more harm than I already was doing.
Truly. Well, I can certainly relate. I was thrown onto this ship because they couldn't handle my ideas.
And what ideas might those be?
And she kind of like she shuts her mouth. Her mouth.
Well, I'll tell you
Perhaps.
what, you have a chance here. 'Cause he's weird. You have a chance here.
Okay.
Because he's weird is great.
Okay.
'Cause I'm all for enabling Cube because we know what Cube likes and I like making Cube happy. So, here's what it'll be, Cube. It'll be a presence plus con.
Presence. Dude. Okay.
It'll be a difficulty of 5.
Okay.
You have 3 momentum and 10 threat.
Guys.
And if it matters to you, I'm going to spend some of that threat to immediately make your complication range a 16 to 20.
16 to 8.
Guys.
That's
Go for it.
Guys.
Go all the way. All the way.
Guys.
All the way.
Roll 5 dice.
Yeah.
Roll 5 dice.
Yep.
Oh,
You,
okay.
Use your determination.
Use your
also
determination.
gonna
Roll
use
5 dice.
Definitely.
My-
Yes.
I'm also gonna use my determination to only failure is not trying.
Okay, yeah, that definitely applies as a value. Mm-hmm. And then do I hear a for the beans, 3 momentum, 3 threat?
Do it.
Would that be okay, guys?
Uh,
Do it.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Which you have a
counts as your
Do you have
first
a focus?
dice,
It's-
so that's
I
Great.
would. Hold on. Would persuasion
5.
or espionage apply?
They would.
Okay.
When we keep going, you might be able to use hand to hand.
Actually, that might be a
And
turn on.
you can still use con.
Mm-hmm.
Same way you
Oh,
would
right,
if you had
bold
to shift
con,
to shift
right.
manual control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was
Oh.
making a
So that should be
joke.
2 momentum and 3 threat,
I already
or 3
subtracted it.
momentum and
It was 3 momentum
okay.
and 3 threat.
Was
And
it?
does that
Oh.
include like the bold?
It does. So you will have a reroll baked
Okay.
in if you need it.
Okay, guys.
Kill a key.
Now, she also has the bargain talent.
Wait, what does
So
it
that
do
might give you a
again?
reroll too.
Put it.
Okay.
Click the little Starfleet symbol next to bargain, and it'll put it in chat for us. All right. What does it say? When you use negotiation or you make an offer to someone doing social conflict, yes. So yes, you actually have 2 rerolls if you need them.
Okay. Okay, using determination and value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever rolled for, but it is me, so.
Listen, there are no dumb rolls, only rolls that complicate.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Shut
Okay?
up!
Woo!
So that 18 is a complication. I would recommend re-rolling it.
Okay. Okay. How do I? Okay, just click reroll and 18.
With the 18.
8 successes. 8.
It's
That is
impressive.
amazing.
It is- I think that's the best roll we've ever seen.
In this game,
I think so.
anyway.
Yes, in this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Nice.
ELH
Bill
is
Hits has a
thinking.
boyfriend.
The Admiral puts down his tea and looks at you very intently, Lieutenant, and says, "If I end up weighing in your favor and allow you to go back out into the stars, perhaps I can see about joining you on your mission."
No way.
Do you
And
say
this
that?
food keeps saying, no way, no. This food keeps...
This is out of character. This is food cube.
This is out of...
It is not Mitts. That is food cube.
Okay.
I love this.
Really?
Well, yes, if half of what is in these logs is true, I want to be a part of it.
Your presence would surely be greatly appreciated. She does a really goofy grin. I'm sorry. She does a really goofy grin.
I'm spending 2 threat that he goes for the kill shot and says, "Oh, and I suppose it helps if there's a cute con person as well." And he winks.
Shut up. No, dude. Dude.
Thought through the
All right,
heart.
we broke Cube. We finally broke her. We finally broke her.
Nice.
So now that Cube is mush, let us return back to the room. We'll skip ahead a bit. We return back to the room, the hearing room. Everyone is seated on time. Everybody, comes in, and the Admiral rings the bell 4 times, and he says, "Well, I've been deliberating, and it occurs to me that there's only really one way we can go about this. And I would like to cite the precedent of Captain Kirk, now Admiral Kirk, as it were, where Kirk did things which were unprecedented, broke violations, etc., etc. I think we can all agree with that. But Captain Kirk also was a good man, and the crew under him were good crew, good officers. And their policy breaking actually helped the Federation become what it is today. Therefore, it is my intention to say that what you all are doing in the Andromeda Galaxy, while unorthodox and perhaps truly skirting the rules of what is allowed, I think you are one of our foremost emissaries within the Andromeda Galaxy. It's clear that while some cultures like the Mauve look at you with disdain and anger, there are a great many others that look at you with respect and look at you with honor and friendship. And it would not be my place to take that away from you. Therefore, I am actually going to punish all of you. And he smiles, and he says, Bailiff, bring them in. And the bailiff comes in, and the bailiff has an option out of character that we have to discuss before I reveal what it is.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
you have an option here. Individually, you all can choose whether to go up in rank. It is entirely up to you if you want to take the rank up. It makes more sense for Lieutenant Mitz because she's a lieutenant. And Keshin,
Right.
if you really want to be a captain, you can, but it's getting weird, but we can work with it.
No.
Obviously, Meridian and Cannon, you would be promoted to admirals, kind of a
Admiral.
thing. Commodore, technically. That is on
Numbers are
decision.
the cool ones.
The other option is I can award you all a mechanic, actual, like a legitimate mechanic medal from Starfleet. And there's a few that apply. Let me just quickly find it again, and I will tell you what the options are. No, we don't want Starbase. I want my medals. Where are my medals?
I think Admiral Meridian is funny just because of the two captains joke.
That only works though if both of you take the promotion to admiral.
True, but it resolves the two captains problem.
Oh well, okay.
I'm not saluting you.
You don't need to salute me. If somebody salutes me, Meridian is going to say, no, don't do that. No, I just... paperwork.
All right, I found the page I was looking for. So, there's a few medals that apply here. One medal, and again, this is an individual basis, so you get to decide what it is your character is taking. One medal is a Cochrane Medal of Excellence. And what this will give you is whenever you would spend a determination and you use a certain focus, that you are able to use 2 benefits of determination on that focus task. Where normally, you spend determination and you only get 1 benefit. Well,
Right.
here you would get 2.
Interesting.
And you would get to choose the focus. So that's option 1.
Double the bang there.
Next option is you could choose to do the Legion of Honor, which is a very interesting medal. And what it means is that once per mission, the character may perform one of the following. You can either gain 2 bonus momentum on any successful task, basically a free trade or 2 questions, or ignore a single complication suffered on a task.
Ooh.
And you know what? It occurs to me that some of these are kind of wordy, so I'll start putting them in our actual Discord chats. Let me screenshot this. Put it in Wolf-Rayet. So this is the Legion of Honor. Next option is the Star Cross. And basically it is a free dedicated focus, which technically I think means that if Captain Cannon were to take this for his dedicated focus, it would double again.
Yo.
No.
So what is a dedicated focus, actually?
So dedicated focus does exactly what the Star Cross does, where it
Right.
basically is twice your department rating. So example, as they say
Oh,
there...
it doubles. Ooh.
Yeah, so for example, if your rating is 4, then you crit on an 8 or lower. And now,
So if I get that with my engineering being at a 5, I get a crit at a 10 and below.
Correct.
That is correct.
That's
Yeah.
nasty.
Correct.
Yep.
Let me see what else. No, you're not surgeons. Here it is. Here's the other one. The Starfleet citation for conspicuous gallantry. Now, this one I
Oh,
like
yeah.
because it actually messes with my threat pool. So what it does is whenever you are paying for something with threat, you can re-roll 1d20. And if you roll less than your daring, I lose a threat.
Ooh.
And that's on any time it's an immediate momentum spend. So if you are buying dice, if you are adding damage, if you are creating a trait, like this applies to a lot of things.
That would go good with all the bold we have going on in our crew.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the medals that you have been offered. So I'll give you some time to think about it and discuss before I go one at a time and see what you all want.
Yep.
Could you put the Cochrane Medal of Excellence in the chat
yeah.
too?
Hold up one moment.
Yeah.
It's a two-parter because they split it across half the page. So here's the first part.
Yeah. And then the way Starcross interacts with dedicated focuses, presumably at some point I could grab a dedicated focus later as well.
Right. So I think what I'm going to have to rule when it comes to dedicated focuses interacting with the Starcross is either it is a tripling of your department, or I think tripling makes more sense than doubling it again.
So I was going to ask, if it doubles it again, I can't not succeed, because 5 would go to 10, and then doubling 10 would be 20.
Would be 20, yeah. And you would basically be rolling not to roll complication.
Well, I mean, even in that case, you'd still succeed if you complicated.
Right.
I would.
I think the ruling is if you all go for the Starcross and you have a dedicated focus, it would triple your dedicated focus range or your crit range for that roll. Because remember, the Starcross can only do it once per mission, whereas dedicated focus can do it at any time.
True. I should just get a dedicated focus. Is the promotion basically just like, do you get anything when you rank up in this game?
You do. We will go through off screen. We will go through character advancement because that's going to take some time to do, probably between sessions. But you are getting the equivalent of an arc milestone here, which is going to allow you to mess with your character sheet and the ship sheet if you so wish.
Wow.
Fun. Put more things on the ship.
You really could.
Okay.
You really could. And if it matters to you, if I can find it in the rules real quick, there are actually some rules for Admiralty, if I can find them real quick.
Yeah, because I'm fascinated by that, actually. I'm like, I wonder, like what mechanically do I get for Admiralty? Because I think that would be fun.
No, of course it's not in that book. So is it in core book then? Let me look. Because I know where it was in first edition. It was in the command supplement, but in second edition,
where is it? You can write it yourself. Well, haha.
Let me see. I just need to see the ranks. They actually did not upgrade, unless I'm missing it. They did not upgrade the Admiralty rolls for second edition.
Well, time for you to write them yourself.
Yet.
Apparently, yeah, yet is the key thing here.
Yeah, just write it yourself. I mean, we started this without rules for a proto drive.
This is true. Let me quickly consult the first edition rules, because that could change. Give me one moment. If I can find the command supplement. There it is. All right, command supplement. What do you got for me? 2E. Let me see. Is it going to be under command school? It's got to be under command school.
They did actually come out with an article to revise the command source book to 2E.
Right, I have that PDF, but unless I don't have the right PDF, it doesn't actually update the Admiralty.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking. It did not.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no difference.
Aha! I found it in first edition. Okay.
There you go.
So in first edition, if you are in Admiralty, then you get to select 3 additional focuses that reflect the area of expertise or subjects that pertain to the Admiral's assignment. So, for example, Meridian, you could take more engineering nonsense.
Ooh.
In addition, at the start of each mission, the Admiral chooses one of those 3 focuses, and every main character can use that focus during the mission.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's what an Admiral does.
I like that. That sounds
are...
fun.
No, it just says that's just what the Admiral does. And let me screenshot that and put that in the chat. Which I'm surprised they didn't... I guess they just said that, hey, it's in first edition and it doesn't need updating, so why
It
not?
doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It really doesn't. I mean, if it's just 3 focuses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just,
Additional focuses, yeah.
2 additional briefings and instructional resources, yeah. Then they have more access to information that's only privy to admirals there, so that makes sense.
So what are we thinking? Who's ranking up? Who's taking a medal?
I'm taking a medal.
Taking a medal. Okay. What is
Yeah.
Keshin taking?
The Legion of Honor.
Okay. Go ahead and note that on your sheet.
Already done.
Already done.
Except I haven't done it on the Forge. I haven't done it on Forge yet.
Yeah, I would say on Forge, add it as like a trait, and then put the rules in the trait. That way, if you mouse over the trait, you can see what it does.
Okay.
So that's Keshin. Let's go to Cannon. Cannon, what are you thinking?
I'm definitely going for a medal. I'm trying to decide which one, though.
Which ones are you between?
Probably between the Star Cross and the Cochrane Medal of Excellence.
Okay.
I think I'll go for the Star Cross.
Go for the Star Cross. All right. And then I'm saving Mitz for last because it's funny. Meridian, what do you got? What are you going for?
I'll take the promotion.
You'll take the
That
promotion
looks
to
like a lot
Admiral.
of fun utility.
All right.
Yeah, then I'll just get my dedicated focus somewhere.
All right. And then, now that you've been promoted, we now turn to poor Lieutenant Mitz. Mitz, are you getting promoted or are you getting a medal here?
What do I get when I'm promoted again?
For you, it would just mean you're a lieutenant commander. It wouldn't give you anything additional, but it would mean you're a lieutenant commander now.
I think I'm gonna forego getting a medal and just rank up because I think it'd be funny.
Okay. So, back into the narrative. The bailiff comes in. Vogon comes in. And for some of you, she has medals. Others, they have pips. And she helps pin them on. And Admiral Valu goes through the motions and says, "Let me be the first to congratulate you, Lieutenant Commander Mitch, and Admiral Meridian. And if Mitch hasn't already told you, Admiral, I will be joining you on your future endeavors, so you won't be the only Admiral aboard."
Lovely.
Yes, but he's probably a Vice Admiral, where she is going to be a Commodore.
Yeah, but Admiral, we can still make the joke.
Okay, sure.
Admiral, yes.
Admiral.
I'm going to lean over to Meridian and whisper to her that
Captain?
I'm still not saluting you.
Well, I think I need to go pack my bags, but unless anybody has anything else to say, I call this hearing to an end. He taps the bell 4 times, and he smiles.
Ding, ding.
And he departs, and you are now free to move about the cabin as much as you wish.
And,
You guys
and we
see
got
that?
and some of us have new bling.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to have happen is I do want to say that Captain Cannon, you get a chirp on your communicator that your family is calling.
Uh-oh.
They calling or are they actually on station on this one?
They're just calling.
Well, I'm going to step off to the side and answer that.
All right. And correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I juggle so many different games. It's your great-granddaughter, or is it just the granddaughter?
Sent forward 100 years, so it could be my granddaughter, but she's going to be in her late 80s, early 90s.
All right. Well, again, it's Star Trek. Humans live forever. do we have a name for her? I feel like you gave me a name, but it's not in my notes.
Nope, never named her.
Never named her. I'm going to call her Sabrina.
Sabrina sounds good.
So Admiral Sabrina Cannon is on the horn, and she says, well, Admiral Valou already told me the good news before his decision. How do you like the fact that you're now going to have Admiralty aboard?
Oh, well, I was fine with dealing with Meridian when she was a captain. I don't really know how I'm going to deal with her now that she's an admiral.
Well, you do realize they're promoting her to keep her out of trouble, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
Well, maybe that's why Valou's coming along. I think he might be a balancing force.
Yeah, I think that's got something to do with my helmsperson than it does with Meridian, but hey, I mean...
You know what? Good for Admiral Valou. If he's finally showing an interest in somebody, good for him.
I'm actually more worried about him than I am my helmsperson.
You know, that does not surprise me. But more to the point, when are you coming home to visit? Or are you ever going to come home for a visit? Because ever since getting your ship, you could have stopped by, said hello, but you haven't.
Well, I'll put in a request to see if we can swing by. I mean, we do have the fastest ship in the fleet.
So if I tell you that I want to see you tomorrow for a good old-fashioned mac and cheese with Frank's Red Hot, you'll be here?
Well, you're an admiral. You can order it.
Then consider it an order. I want your butt at our dinner table tomorrow evening.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I bring some guests? Because I'm sure my crew could use some downtime, too.
We'll make a feast size, as it were.
That sounds excellent to me. And I've got a little gift for you when I get there. It's a painting I picked up in the Andromeda Galaxy.
A painting? Is it pink?
It's actually a beautiful pink flower.
Ah, I remember looking into that recording. I look forward to mounting it on my wall.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow for dinner.
Very good. Admiral out. And yeah, is there anything anybody else wants to accomplish before we round off Season 1? Anything else you want to have on record? Open floor.
Yes, I want to assign the Admiral next to Mitz's quarters.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to do exactly that. Also, I thought we were already in the second season.
No, we're still technically in Season 1, so,
Nice.
All right. Anything else anybody would like to do?
No.
I want us to arrive to the party with the electro paint and everything set to maximum pink.
Maximum pink, it has been noted.
Nice.
All right. In that case, the final shot of Season 1, and yes, future seasons are coming. The final shot of Season 1 is the Wolf-Rayet disconnecting from Stardock and slowly moving out of the gantry, and then angling off into space, getting some distance, and then the protodrive spins up, and you're gone. And that's where we'll end Season 1 of Star Trek Wolf-Rayet.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So again, kind of a shorter session, but I didn't want to sit here and court-martial you guys for 2 hours because that's not fun. But I thought that was a nice way to capstone our first season. Like I thought that hit on all the good points.
Testing our note-taking ability.
Good recap episode.
So for future reference, that wasn't a court-martial. That was an inquiry.
Well, same difference.
That could have led to a court-martial. Or
I was
or
ready to make a run for it. I can't lie.
Oh Lord!
Mitz
and hey,
just steals a ship.
Now I get to torture Mitz with a hunky admiral,
Oh
so that's
my
great.
god!
This is what's called the punishment for your good rolls.
with a Sean Connery voice.
Yes, with a Sean Connery voice.
And how old is this Admiral? I mean, he's an elderly Vulcan, so he's pushing 200?
Oh, easily 200, easily.
Oh, so he's actually even older than I am. Wow.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, before Mitz kills us all, Twitch, stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.